What time is it? It's journey time, and time for another creative journey using Stampin' Up! Products. Hello, my name is Kathy Haynes, and today, the day after Valentine's, we are going to be making or creating this cute little Valentine. But we can send love any time of the year, right? And we're going to be using the Country Bouquet stamp set along with the matching punch, and that's a bundle in the new mini catalog, which I will keep the link below, and you can find that on my blog or my Stampin' Up! Website. And it is filled with amazing products, and I just love this suite. So we're going to be using the bundle along with the Country Gingham 6x6 Designer Series paper and the Country Floral Lane 12x12 paper. And in it is this beautiful, all Stampin' Up! Designer Series paper is beautiful, but they always try to include a page that you can punch out. So we are going to skip the step of stamping, although we could, because the stamp set does include the stamp for doing that. We're going to use the beautiful Designer Series paper, which makes this card even more fun and quick. So let's go ahead and get started. We're also going to be using the framed florets die set, and this is just gorgeous. It has so many frames. Look at these. Isn't that beautiful? And this one, used with the silver, the metallic cardstock, comes out so beautiful. Isn't that cute? So we're going to be using that one. It also comes with this one, and of course all these matching die sets that go with the stamp set that matches it. But we're going to use it for this one in two ways. One, to make this frame, but the other you'll see in just a couple of minutes. I don't want to overwhelm you because I'm overwhelmed already. How about you? So let me put this aside and we'll get started. Okay, so what we're going to do today is make a gatefold card, and we're just going to add a little bit of pop to it by making the angles on it, which sounds difficult, but it's really not. So let me show you my way of doing this, and I think it's pretty easy. So we're going to start with a 5.5 by 11. So this is 5.5 this way and 11 that way. Sheet of paper. So you have to use one sheet of paper for each of these cards. And then you have extra you can save to use for something else. But what we're going to do is we're going to mark it, because we want to make the sides angle. And so we want to make it end up looking like this. And how to do this is we're going to mark at 1 1/4 on each side here, and from the bottom up 1 inch from here and this side. So if you have the Stampin' Up! Grid paper, you know every 4 squares is 1 inch. So it was really easy for me to do. I could lay my paper down here, line it up here, and then simply count down. So I want 1 inch here. So I lied to you. You know what? I'm on the I'm on the metric side. Let me turn this over. I was very confused. So let's just turn it over to the inches, which we all know that system is much better anyway. The other is so confusing. So if you line this up, every 4 is 1/4 inch. Every 4 squares equals 1 inch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, it's 1 inch. So I'm just going to line mine up on the line so I know it's straight. And I'm going to count down 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's 1 inch. I'm going to make a mark right there, which I've already done, obviously. And then I'm going to hold my paper down, and I'm going to do the same thing right here. This one's off just a little bit. So I'm going to mark right there. So 1 inch, that's the bottom half actually. I'm going to flip it, line mine back up with the line. So I'm lining it up with the line up here. Now I'm going to count down 4 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5th square makes the quarter. So that's, I need 1.5. So I'm going to mark right there. So 1.5 on that side, and then 1.5 on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4 is 1 inch. 1, 2, that's 1.5 inches. And I have created this little cheat sheet. So if you want to screenshot that, that really helps tell you how I did it, because I have skipped a couple parts. This is 11 inches wide. We're going to score here at 3 3/8, and then flip it and score it here at 3 3/8. All the dimensions are below. So, and if you screenshot this, it will really be helpful. And then you're going to mark at 1.5. Let's turn it over. So 1.5 and 1 inch. 1.5 and 1 inch. So that's what I've done here. I've laid my paper straight on the grid line. You could also use a ruler. So all you would do on a ruler is lay your ruler here, mark at 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches, flip it, and that's the easiest way for me, and do 1 inch and 1 inch. Okay, so I hope that we're clear on that. Now what you want to do is take your paper cutter. Now I'm using a Stampin' Up paper cutter, which I love, and hopefully you have this type. If you don't, you could even use scissors and cut from the fold to your mark in each 4 of these corners. So I'm going to put my fold on the line. See, my fold is right there. And then I'm going to put my mark on the line. Make sure that your fold stays there and your mark is there. And then you're simply going to cut. All right. And then I'm going to take my other fold and put it on the line, and my mark and put it on the line. Okay. Make sure your fold is on the line. Fold's on the line, mark is on the line. And cut. And then I have my mark here. So I'm going to put my fold here, put my mark on the line. Fold is on the line, mark is on the line, and cut. And then the last one, fold is on the line, maneuver this. There's my mark, my fold, shut it, and cut. And that's how easy this is. So there's your base. Isn't that cute? I love it because it looks like a hug to me. What do you think? All right, let's put this away for a minute, because the next thing we're going to do is we are going to make the Designer's Series paper pieces panels that go on here. All right, so what we do is normally a margin is 1/4 inch. So when you do a card, it's 1/4 inch on each side. So I've cut my paper, and this is the gingham paper, you guys. It's just gorgeous. It's just fun. Easter, anything you can think of. So isn't that pretty? And I've used half of it because I already had a workshop using this paper. So I've cut this paper in half, so 3 inches, because it's 6 by 6 paper, and then cut it at 5 inches. Now I've chosen which colors I want, and I want these 2 colors. Okay, so I am going to put both of them, this one facing up and this one facing down. All right, so those are the 2 colors I want. So because they're the same paper, it looks this way, but when you're doing yours, the design you like facing you and the other design you like facing down. All right. And then you're going to take your cutter again, And this is what we want to end up with. All right, so you can take a screenshot of that. I am going to do a PDF and hopefully include photos of these. But what I want to do is I want to mark after I've cut it to 5, so this is 5 inches, I want to mark at 1 1/4 and 3/4. So that's what I'm going to do with these 2 pieces of paper. I'm going to take it again, line it up on a line, and I know I want 3/4. 1, 2, 3/4 is right there. I'm going to mark that. And I know I want an inch and an inch and a quarter. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's an inch and a quarter. All right, so now I have my marks here and here. I'm going to keep both these papers together. One facing up, one facing down. And then again, I'm going to line up my corner, not my fold, because there's no fold. So I'm going to line up my quarter and the 1 inch, or the 3/4 inch. Now, you can line it up using this grid here, but my thought is not everybody has this trimmer, so I wanted to be universal. So you can avoid marking it by putting the center there or the fold there and bringing this corner up to the thing, but I wanted this to be universal. So whoops, that's a scoring blade. Cut it off. And remember, it doesn't have to be perfect, folks. All right, this is a handmade card. Okay, I got my mark, I got my corner, mark and corner, hold it down. I'm going to lift this up because I like to cut from the full edge to the corner because sometimes you mush the corner. So let me make sure I could see that I slipped a little. And there we go. Mush the corner. So let's see if we did this right. So we're going to fold these in half, and one is going to fit, let me put this away. One is going to fit on, I'm going to turn this over, on this side, and the other one should fit the other way on this side. Okay, and see, it's not perfect. I don't know what I did. Let's flip it over this way. Let's try this one. Okay, and this way. You know math. So it's not completely perfect, but all I need to do, it looks like, is take a sliver off there. So I'm just going to cut a sliver off this one, and I think we'll be good. Okay. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, that's better. All right, so I've got my 2 pieces here that I am going to go ahead and glue down. So I'm going to use my Tombow and glue these down. And I like the Tombow because it forgives. To forgive is to set a prisoner free and realize the prisoner is you. So let's go ahead. Little words of wisdom from Kathy. All right. You know, we all need a little forgiveness. There we go. So that is plenty good enough for me. All right, so now we have our hug. What do you think? I'm going to scoot this down just a little bit. There we go. And you can take the time and straighten it out a little more. Maybe yours ended up perfect, but this is good for me right now. Now I want to work on well, actually, we're going to work on the emblem. So what I've done, when you cut out your frame using the silver metallic paper, it automatically cuts out a bottom piece. Now you may choose to use this side. I'm going to use the white side, and I'm going to build my main piece. So here's the, okay. So I'm going to take a dimensional, and I'm going to pop up my heart. I'm going to put it right about there. Then I'm going to use some mini dimensionals and put my leaves on. Come on. Okay, and this is your design, so do it however you want. Now again, when you run out of designer paper, if you want to take the time and make it extra special, do different colors, you do have the stamps. So here's the 2 stamps that go with it. So the heart, the double heart, and the leaves. And when you do those, then you can punch them out using the punch. Okay, I think that goes there. And then I have a little baby heart, but I think it fits fine with a big dot. Maybe not. Let's just use a mini. Alrighty. All right, now what I want to do is I want to put minis around the frame. And so you want the frame not to bend. So I would start with the 4 corners of a circle. And then I would add a couple more at least in between. Because love is timeless, you guys. So hopefully they're going to keep this card for all time. And you don't want it to cave in. All right, I'm going to use my Take-A-Pick tool and take off these covers. Take your pick tool, which everybody should have. That's the most value price, amazing tool I think Stampin' Up! Has to offer. Okay, so now I'm going to take some glue. Since I've used the white side, I'm going to glue the chrome side or the silver side down. Okay. I want to leave my biggest dip at the top. Okay, the smaller dip at the bottom. And I'm going to center that. Just like that. Okay, hold it for a minute or two. Now I'm going to take my frame and frame my design. Once you've got it where you want it, what do you think? Isn't that amazing? Okay, so the next thing we want to do is you either want to use 110 pound paper, or you want to take 2 pieces of basic white and glue them together, focusing on the middle. Okay, let that dry just a tad while we stamp it, because for the flag, we want it to be sturdy because it's holding down the card. So you want it to be a little sturdy. Now let me find the stamp set. And on the outside, it's going to say, just wanted to say. And I'm going to put that on a small block. It's the smallest one I could find at the moment. It's not a Stampin' Up! One, but it will do. And I'm going to use, what color did I use? Well, I'm going to use Flirty Flamingo. I'm not sure what color I used. I can't find a stamp pad. So this is handy. How could it be wrong? It may be the color I used. I'm still in the middle of unpacking my studio into my barn studio, so I don't quite know where everything is yet. And I'm going to stamp that. And it looks like that is the color I used. And then using scissors, I'm simply going to cut right under it. And above it, and it doesn't have to be perfect. And then cut off here. And as you can see, mine is angled a little bit, and I think that's perfect for this card. So I'm going to cut in a ways and then cut from corner to there and corner without cutting my fingers to there. And that should just peel right off. And now I have a sturdy banner. Okay. This one's a little bit, I must have pink on my hands now, but that's okay. There we go. It's a little bit better. And so here's my design. What I want to do is I want to pop it up right here. And because it has to hold this and this is higher, I'm going to put 2 dimensionals. One, take off the peely dealy, and then the second one, shut it. You do not want this to touch the blue side. This needs to stay on the designer series paper, and put it however you want to put it, keeping the edge within that area. And I think right there looks great. Isn't that adorable? Okay, so now we're going to open it. We'll embellish later. And we're going to do the inside. And now this is the fun part to me. Because you use, this is another one that comes with the framed florets dies. Now I showed you all the other ones, but this is all hearts. It's so cute, but it just cuts out the hearts. So you put it on, I'm using Post-it note tape, run it through your die cutting machine, and then the end result is right here. I'm looking for it. So this is the end result. Is that not adorable? So I want it to pop. So what I've done is I've cut on the back a piece of Sweet Sorbet. That's the color I used, that I could put right like that. So it covers all the holes, but it doesn't show. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue here and a little bit on the corners. And I'm going to lay this and make sure it covers everything. It does not have to be straight. Okay. And there you go. You have your hearts. Now the next thing I want to do, since I can't find my Sweet Sorbet, here it is. I found it. I'm going to use my Sweet Sorbet. My Sweet Sorbet. And I'm going to use a, let me find it. See these? They have these, you can't tell it, but they end up looking like hearts. So I chose the little flowers at the bottom. So I can tell which one I chose because, yes, ink does stain the polymer, photopolymer stamps, but they don't do anything to the use of them. They don't, they're just fine. They're just colorful. Some things are just colorful. And ink that up, and I'm going to stamp it right here. Okay. Give it a second to so the ink sinks in. Lift it up. Isn't that adorable? Okay, and now I want to use, so the outside says just wanted to say. So the inside, you could put I love you. You could put I love that we are friends. And or with love, I love that we are friends. That's the one I love. Because we have more friends than we do Valentines or husbands, right? So, and then I'm going to use the Tahitian Tide. I just love this color. And I think it will pop with this card. And so look on there, make sure that you have it right side up. Stamp, 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 stamp. Make sure. Yep. Because I don't want to ruin this card after we put all this work into it. I love that we are friends. Isn't that adorable? Okay. So we're almost done, folks. This is a very quick and easy card. I'm simply going to put Tombow on the back. Bring my card over. Make sure you have it right side up. Yeah, I'm sure we've all done that. I'm going to center this in the middle. Okay, so with this Gatefold card, even though we used a different size paper, it's not a half a sheet of paper, it's still an A2 card. It still will fit like any other card. It's still the same size. So there we go. Isn't that adorable? And then I also got this cute, it's From My Heart Faceted Gems. So I think a little bling is always the thing to do. So I'm going to put a dot here. And the thing is, I put my glue on first. You know, Tombow takes a while to dry. I mean, it stays tacky. So if you're doing a bunch of cards, you can even do this and leave them for a while. And it's even better because it sticks faster because it will stay tacky. And then I'm using the gem picker-upper side of the Take Your Pick tool. And you see, I'm going to grab a big one. All right. Tip that guy over. Pick him up. And I'll put that one right there. Oh, oh, Nelly. My finger is sticky. And then I take a smaller one. Okay. And I think I'll put that right there. And like I said, my fingers are sticky, so I don't know why. Okay. And then I'll take another one. It's better if you can find one that's already tipped over. Let's see. Or you can tip them over. Which one should we use? I'm just going to, I still want a smaller one, so here we go. And there we go. What do you think? Isn't that adorable? Just wanted to say, I love that we are friends. So I just want to say thank you for joining me on another creative journey. I hope you enjoyed this quick little card, Gatefold card. And I'm sure you have a lot of friends that you could touch. And that should be the main focus, is that we share the joy, that we're doing card making so that we can brighten other people's lives. So thank you for taking another creative journey with me using Stampin' Up! Products. All the dimensions will be listed below. However, if you want to see the PDF or the designs, check back a little bit later and I will try to post them on my blog, and the link is below. So thanks again. Have a great day. Bye-bye.